Welcome everyone back to our channel, and now I will talk about this issue. Please listen. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your body was no longer yours? The wrinkles deepened, your waistline grew larger with each passing year, and the energy that once enabled you to walk miles without feeling tired now evaporated after just a few steps to the market. That feeling of helplessness, it was not just physical, but a silent wound deep in the soul. Linda, 67, from Texas, tearfully said, "I used to be a healthy, active, happy person. But after 60, I felt like I was drowning in my own body." She wasn't talking about age. She was talking about persistent knee pain, erratic blood pressure, soaring cholesterol, restless sleep, and the feeling of suffocation when trying to put on the wedding dress her husband once praised as the most beautiful. But what was most heartbreaking was the silence. Society often looks at obesity in older people as if it were a natural thing, as if it were the price you pay for living a long life. But the truth is, obesity is not an inevitable part of aging, and you can change that. No one should have to spend their final years in pain and shame because their body no longer responds the way it used to. And today, I want to share with you something that seems so simple, something you probably have in your kitchen, using to bake or deodorize your refrigerator. But few people know that it can open the door to a healthy, light and hopeful body again. Yes, I am talking about baking soda. Sounds strange, right? How can something as cheap as baking soda, that white powder we often overlook, help the elderly escape 10 common health problems? The issue here is not its economic value, but its biological value, something that modern science is gradually discovering with profound surprise. Dr. Mark Houston, a cardiologist at Vanderbilt University, USA, once said that an acidic environment in the body is one of the underlying causes of chronic obesity, arthritis, high blood pressure, and premature aging. Our bodies, especially after the age of 50, are prone to pH imbalance, causing cells to weaken, the immune system to decrease, and fat to accumulate more in the internal organs. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a mild alkaline substance. When used properly, it can help neutralize acid in the blood, improve digestion, and soothe smoldering inflammation in the body, the type of inflammation that does not cause fever, but is the silent root of many chronic diseases such as obesity, diabetes, and joint pain. A study from the US National Institutes of Health showed that drinking a small amount of baking soda mixed with water every morning can activate special immune cells in the bone marrow and spleen, places that control the body's inflammatory response. This is especially important for older adults, as chronic inflammation is the reason they feel chronically tired, accumulate belly fat, and experience constant aches and pains. You may be wondering, is it true? Just a glass of water mixed with baking soda every morning can make 10 health problems disappear. I understand the skepticism, and it makes sense. But consider the story of Richard, a 71-year-old former Ohio physical education teacher who gained 25 pounds in 3 years after retiring. He had knee pain, frequent heartburn, urinated 3 to 4 times a night, and had trouble sleeping. After his pharmacist nephew suggested he try baking soda therapy, he started each day with 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda mixed in a glass of warm water, drinking it 30 minutes before breakfast. After 6 weeks, his waistline had shrunk by more than 2 inches, he was sleeping more soundly, he was no longer urinating as much at night, and most importantly, he said his spirit was rejuvenated. Of course, he still maintained a bland diet, walked daily, and avoided fried foods. But it was the baking soda that helped reboot his entire metabolism, which had slowed down with age. From a seemingly harmless powder, baking soda became a silent companion on his journey to regaining the vitality of old age. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to use baking soda correctly to avoid the mistakes many people make when using the wrong dosage at the wrong time. But before we get there, let me ask you this. If there was a simple, easy-to-do, cheap, non-pharmacological solution, and one that was scientifically proven to be beneficial, would you be willing to try it? If the answer is yes, then you are in for a whole new start for your body. Ellen, a 68-year-old woman living in California, once said something that I will never forget. After 60, I don't want to be a young person anymore. I just want to be free of my own body. That quote touched the hearts of many people, because the truth is, we don't want to have the body of a 30-year-old. We just want our feet to hurt less when we get out of bed. We want our stomachs to not be as hard as rocks when we bend down to put on our shoes. We want to be strong enough to play with our grandchildren without gasping for breath after just a few minutes. And this is where baking soda, that simple white powder, can become an indispensable part of the recovery journey. But to get the most out of it, we need to understand how to use it. Baking soda is not a miracle, but when used correctly, it can become a powerful support for a body that is gradually weakening over time. The simplest way, and the one most recommended by experts like naturopathic Dr. Josh Axe, is to mix about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a cup of warm water about 200 to 250 milliliters. Drink it slowly in the morning, on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before meals. Why early in the morning? Because at this time of the day, your stomach is at its most acidic. A small amount of baking soda will help neutralize excess acid, kickstart your digestive system gently, reduce heartburn, and support your liver and kidneys in filtering out toxins that have accumulated overnight. For many older adults who suffer from minor stomach aches, bloating, and indigestion, especially after late dinners, drinking baking soda every morning is like setting a reset button for the entire digestive system. Another little-known benefit: baking soda helps improve the absorption of magnesium and calcium, two essential minerals that older adults often lack. Not only does this help strengthen bones, it also helps keep your heart rate steady, reducing the risk of night cramps. However, please note, never take more than 1/2 teaspoon per day, unless directed by your doctor. Too much baking soda can cause electrolyte imbalances, bloating, or hypernatremia. This is especially important for people with high blood pressure. A little tip: if you are taking medication for blood pressure, diabetes, or diuretics, take baking soda at least 2 hours apart from these medications. Because baking soda can affect the absorption of the medication, you should also not take baking soda right after a full meal, because at this time the stomach is digesting strongly. Neutralizing the acid at this time can slow down the digestion process, causing discomfort. So what exactly can baking soda improve? Here are 10 health benefits that have been reported in older adults when using baking soda regularly and in the right doses. Reduces stomach acid, heartburn, bloating, helps improve appetite. Improves mild arthritis by reducing chronic inflammation. Stabilizes mild blood pressure, especially in people with excess acid. Supports weight loss in the abdominal area by activating a healthier metabolism. Reduces muscle soreness after exercise, especially in people who have started exercising again. Improves sleep by reducing nocturia and making the body more comfortable. Boosts the immune system by controlling the acid-alkaline environment. Supports liver and kidney function, helps eliminate toxins more effectively. Reduces the risk of kidney stones by reducing uric acid levels in the urine. Feel more relaxed because the body is lighter, less inflamed, and easier to breathe. You may not feel all of these benefits after a week, but in the case of Richard and Ellen, after 4 to 6 weeks, the positive change is obvious, not only in their appearance, but also in the way they walk, talk, and live their days without being weighed down by their body weight. And you know what? The best thing is baking soda does not require you to go on a strict diet, to work out hard at the gym, or to change your lifestyle too much. It is just a starting point, like a gentle breeze that helps the boat of health sail more easily and lighter. Imagine yourself standing in front of the mirror, no longer the person struggling to hide their belly, but the person confidently smiling because they feel their body is healing every day. That is the power of a small, regular, persistent choice. And if you are still wondering, is this really right for me? Then I invite you to stay, because in the next segment, we will explore the fatal misconceptions that many seniors are making when trying to lose weight, and why those very misconceptions are causing their bodies more damage. Helen, 74, once believed that the only way to lose weight was to skip breakfast and eat only 1 meal a day. I thought I was doing the right thing, she says. Every morning I only drank water and didn't eat anything, but my belly was still bulging, and I was tired all day. Helen's story is not unique. Many older people, especially those over 60, are battling their weight with seemingly reasonable beliefs that are actually making their bodies weaker day by day. One of the biggest misconceptions is the idea that the less you eat, the thinner you become. Modern science has shown the opposite. When you fast for too long, especially in older people, your body will slow down its metabolism, lose muscle mass, and increase visceral fat storage. According to a report from the National Institute on Aging, eating too few calories over a long period of time can lead to underlying malnutrition, causing irregular heartbeats, muscle weakness, impaired immune function, and blood pressure disorders. That explains why people like Helen, despite fasting for long periods of time, still cannot lose belly fat, still suffer from knee pain, fatigue, and insomnia. Another common mistake is, "I'm old. Eating sugar or starch is fine, as long as I don't eat too much." But the truth is that after age 50, the body gradually loses the ability to process blood sugar as efficiently as when it was younger. A slice of white bread, a glass of juice, or a bowl of white rice, seemingly harmless things, can cause insulin spikes, leading to fat accumulation in the abdomen, liver, and even around the heart. Dr. Jason Fung, a leading expert on type 2 diabetes and obesity, once said, "It's not calories that make you gain weight. It's insulin. And sugar, refined starch, is the strongest insulin wake-up call." Baking soda, when used properly, is not a miracle cure to undo everything wrong, but it can help the body restore its alkaline acid circadian rhythm, thereby helping insulin work more stably. And this will not mean anything if you continue to maintain eating habits that sabotage your body every day. That's why I want you to take a look at some of the common habits below to see if you are falling into them. Are you eating sweet fruits like grapes, bananas, durian every day because you think fruit is healthy? Are you drinking bottled juice or condensed milk in the morning because you think it gives you more energy? Are you eating white porridge, bread, or instant noodles instead of rice because you think they are lighter on the stomach? Are you abusing milk for the elderly without knowing the hidden sugar inside? If you nod at least one of the above questions, then perhaps those good things are making your weight loss journey more difficult. The good news is, you don't need to eliminate everything completely. You just need to adjust your priorities. Instead of focusing on eating less, focus on eating right. And this is where baking soda becomes a great supporter. Because when you adjust your diet, switching from high sugar to low sugar, from refined starch to vegetables and clean protein, your body will enter a mild detox phase. Some people will experience mild headaches, fatigue, and irritability in the first few days. This is when baking soda, with its acid balancing ability, can reduce symptoms and help your body make a smoother transition. William, 71, of Colorado, described his experience this way. "The first week of cutting out carbs, I thought I had the flu, but I persisted in drinking baking soda with warm water in the morning and afternoon. After 10 days, my body felt revived. My stomach felt light, my head was clear, and I no longer felt heavy after eating." And remember, losing weight at 60 doesn't mean returning to the weight you had in your 20s. Losing weight now means reducing the pressure on your knees, reducing your risk of stroke, and reducing your risk of early death from fatty liver, heart disease, or diabetes. So don't let old misconceptions hold you back. Don't let fear stop you from starting. And don't believe that your body is too old to change. Change doesn't require anything big. It starts with the smallest things: a cup of warm water, a small spoon of baking soda, and a brave decision to live differently from today. In the next segment, I will share a sample 7-day schedule so you can apply baking soda with an effective weight loss diet without starving yourself, without heavy exercise, just regularity and trust. 7 days. Just 7 days to start. And the important thing is not that you do each step perfectly, but that you dare to start. Imagine waking up one morning, no longer feeling heavy in your stomach, no longer having pain in your knees when you stand up, and especially no longer feeling helpless when you look in the mirror. You stand there, looking back at yourself, not only seeing a lighter body, but also seeing a stronger person, one who has not given up. You see the image of Mr. William, Mrs. Helen, people who were once desperate in the darkness of old age, of illness, of hopeless diagnoses. But they proved, as long as you are breathing, you have the power to change. Baking soda is not a panacea. It does not replace medicine, but it is a tool simple, cheap, and effective when used at the right time, in the right way. More importantly, it is your daily choices that shape your future. What do you choose to put into your body? What do you choose to believe about yourself? How do you choose to live today? If you are listening to this, you are ready. ready to no longer live with a bulging belly, heavy legs, or the pitying looks of others when they see you struggling to walk. You are ready to confidently walk, even if slowly, on the path to a healthy body, a light heart, a full night's sleep, and an old age no longer dominated by weight. I believe in you. And most of all, I hope you will start believing in yourself too. Try it. Just 7 days. Mix baking soda as directed. Eat right, slowly, gently. Go to bed early. Walk a few steps every morning. And one day, very soon, you will realize it's not old age that's taking your health away. It's you taking it back. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this video touches your heart, please share it with your friends and family, those who are struggling with weight, with fatigue, with thinking it's too late to change. Remind them and yourself that it's never too late. Not at 60, not at 70, and certainly not today.